Hello? I need to sing a song, right, to get people's attention. Clap. Glad you're getting settled in. Hope you had a good morning and the lunch was good. You may have noticed that a number of people in our field are retiring. And we stand on the shoulders of people who've taught us a lot over the last many years. I've been in this field for 35 years. I'm probably next in line. But we want to honor 4 leaders that have been in our field that have been especially important to the shared services movement. And is Kelly, why don't you come up, and Kate, and can we press the next slide? Oh, Kate's first. Phil's the first one. Come on up. Wait a minute, I'm sorry. Is there a clicker? Is that?
Yes, I believe so.
Right. Yay.
Well, most of you recognize this face. Phil Acord has been a rock in this industry for 50 years. I should say I'm Katie Harbison with the Chambliss Center for Children in Chattanooga, and Phil has been my boss for 15 years. And he retired from our organization in November of 2021, and I took his place as president CEO. So I have stepped into an amazing organization that Phil really built by saying yes to everything. In fact, when we started 24-hour childcare in 1969, it was unheard of in the state of Tennessee. There was no license for 24-hour childcare. And our agency really paved the way for that in our state to be able to even have that as an option. Phil has said yes over the years to partnering with offsite organizations to provide back office support and stability to childcare programs. And then Louise came along and told him it was called shared services. He didn't know that back in 1983 when he agreed to partner with an organization that was financially unstable to help continue to serve the children in that neighborhood. He also said yes when our school system came to us and said, we want you to do childcare inside of our school buildings to support our teachers. And then we did that for a couple decades, and Louise came along and said, those are micro centers. Louise is a big part of this, you're seeing. But Phil has been a tremendous leader in our organization, also in the childcare industry. He has obviously stood out because he's a male, but I think he's also stood out because of the amazing advocacy and leadership he has shown over the years. This industry has not lost him, though. I will say he has not gone. He has just retired from our agency, but he is still very close at hand. In fact, I was texting when Ryan was talking this morning, sending him pictures. He is still around. He's still in Chattanooga and still involved at some things at the state level and in other ways. But I just want to recognize his absence because he has been at probably every single one of these conferences, every single one. And I think I've been at all except maybe one, but I know it's different when Phil's not around, but I think he's been such a tremendous leader in this space. And I am honored to be able to have inherited the leadership role in such an amazing, amazing organization. So when you hear our name and you hear us talked about in these spaces, I am not taking credit for everything because everything that the organization has been over our 150 years, well, Phil's only been there for 50 of them, but everything our organization is today is really because of him and his leadership and his care and genuine compassion towards children and families. And that is always what he talks about. It's always about what is best for children and families. And that's how we have continued to step into a space of what can we do to serve this group of children, or what can we do to serve this group of families? And we have Phil to thank for that. So please join me in recognizing Phil Acord.
have for you to bring home to Phil
Oh, good.
a Think Big cap.
Oh, good. He'll love that. Thank you.
Kelly, why don't you come up?
Hi, I'm Kelly Matthews. I'm the co-director of WESN in Wisconsin, and we are part of WICA, which is an AEYC affiliate. How do you summarize in 2 to 3 minutes someone who has changed the trajectory of your life? I'm sure going to try. Tom, if you are watching, just know I'm not stalking you. They invited me because I know I saw you last week at your retirement party, and I saw you the week before at your other retirement party. Super fan, what can I say? Tom Copeland, you have changed my life, and I know you have changed the lives of thousands of family providers over the decades that you have so deeply supported this field. I made Tom a best friend of my business before I ever knew who he was. My mentor shared all of the Tom Copeland books with me before I opened my business. That meant I was light years ahead in understanding budgeting, financial stability, retirement, being intentional with my relationship with money. I even followed the Tom Copeland rule about how to pay your car off. Like, it goes deep. It goes deep. His generosity of expertise, his ability to break down seemingly complicated calculations to easily understood step-by-step processes. His friendly, hello, this is Tom. Every call that came to him from providers, this man gave out his personal phone number and called people back. When he called you, was like, oh my gosh, it's Tom Copeland. It's like royalty. Like this, and this is me channeling providers from across the state and country when I say that. Every single one of them felt like they were talking to like Superman when he called back. I have to say, this man took on the IRS and won more than once. Let that sink in. His ability to make our lives easier by doing all the behind the scenes work, going to court, fighting those battles so that family childcare providers didn't have to save every single food receipt they ever purchased for their program. He changed that. Those that don't even know you, that know Tom, have benefited from him because of these IRS changes that happened. So for all of them, all of us here in family childcare, I just want to say now it's just a matter of taking care of business. Tom, you are a national treasure to family childcare, and we are so grateful. Congratulations on your well-deserved retirement.
And we'll have to send Tom his Think Big cap because he's not here with us today. So another person who's not here with us today is Pam Tatum. Pam Tatum led Quality Care for Children, which was one of the first organizations that we worked with at Opportunities Exchange. Quality Care for Children is a child care resource and referral agency, and Pam has been an exemplary leader, willing to step into all sorts of spaces that were totally uncomfortable for lots of other people, willing to think completely outside the box in terms of what her resource and referral could and should do. Has really stepped up to the plate and developed a whole boatload of business leadership, business training, embraced childcare management software in really, really exciting ways. So it's been just a delight for me to work with Pam. And Pam, if you're listening, we miss you. It's really hard to have a conference here without you. She too has been to every single one of our conferences until this year. And we do Ellen, her successor, Ellen. Ellen, you can, would you come up and take a cap on behalf of Pam and bring it back to her? Thank you. Ellen Cochran is the new executive director. And then finally, last but not least, Diane Price. I'm looking for you. There you are. I see you. Diane thinks she's retiring, But she made the mistake of coming to this meeting, and she's way too close to me. I mean, anyone who's in my site who says the word retirement, I think, aha, here's another consultant for Opportunities Exchange. I'm not very good at letting people retire. Diane, I met Diane before our first shared services conference, which was actually in Denver with the Mirage Foundation. And she was at that time running a multi-site childcare center, and she was interested in shared services for a network of family childcare homes. And she came to our conference and she said to me, Louise, in the middle of the conference, I had to go back to the room and bang my head against the wall and say, wait a minute, you got to go back and reorganize your centers. What are you thinking? That you can actually come in and do shared services for homes when you're not doing it with your centers. So she actually went back and completely reorganized how she does her centers so that she was using shared principles for her organization. And then she deepened her work with family childcare. But Diane is another one who's never said no to me when I call her, who has always done just really bold and important work. So Diane, you have to come up and accept your Think Big hat. Sharon, what else am I supposed to do here? Anything else? We done? Okay, I'm supposed to tell everyone that you can go to your next session. And then, so you'll have one more session, then we'll come back here for another plenary, and then we have one more after that. So we'll see you in a bit.